Hi, and welcome to LNA does audio stuff. In today's video, you will learn 5 essential vocal production tips and tricks to make them a lot better in your music production. Before we get started, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon because you want to be here for more videos and you want to get reminded when I post. So hit those subscription button and the bell icon next to the subscription button. But hey, let's get started now. Okay, number 1, Ableton Live 11 came with take lanes and it's one of the best way of creating vocals and I love it. So let's have a look at how that works. Take the loop press on the top and select an area. Example that I can click the cycle mode, there we go, and start recording. So I'm just gonna sing into this dynamic microphone. We can just be in the singing mode and just chill and just record as many times as we want, and it's gonna cycle this one part. I realize there's nothing for me here anymore. There's nothing for me here anymore. I realize there's nothing anymore. Okay, so now I took quite many takes, so it just went around and you didn't see anything else happening really. I was just concentrating on recording, and also there were some mistakes, and now we can make sure that we get the best take. So I can right click on the actual track and then go here and put show take lanes, and there we go. That's all my takes here, and you can see that it's selecting the pen tool already, so I can solo each track from here. I realize there's a little bit latency, that's fine. So I want this one, so I can just go and highlight it like this, and you can see that it went to the top, the first track there. Now I can just go through every single one and just find which one of them I want. There's nothing for me here anymore. So that's quite nice there. So I'm just going to put that on the top. There's nothing for me here anymore. Yeah, so I like that one there. Okay, so I'm just gonna now close all the take lanes, delete all the pieces from the middle. We did the comping, and now I can consolidate them all together. So Command J. There we go. So we have now a perfectly fine track. Tip number 2, stacking. Let's say this is the chorus and not the verse. I want the chorus to be bigger. I want it to be more powerful, have more depth. So what I want to do is add some stacking to it. And that means that I can sing exactly the same thing twice, or 3 times, or 4 times. So it means that I'm basically repeating what I just did. So let's do this. So I'm going to go and record the stacking number 1. I realize. But make sure after you record it is that all the same phrases go in the same spot so that they're matching really well. Also, I have an S going on here. So that is unuseful because I don't want to have a lot of different S's, so that is really bad in mixing. So I want to just cut away, even though it sounds a bit funny by itself, but together it will sound good. So the only S's I'm going to leave is the main vocal. And so I'm just going to tidy it already here a little bit. And also that it's not going to overgo too long in the end. maybe even slightly shorter than the original. So as you can see, it's longer here than the original. So I'm just gonna cut it from there and add a little fade. I realize there's nothing for me here anymore. So what we can also do is now I can consolidate again, Command J, and now I can copy this one, go into the pitch control here, and I can go and just put this -12 example. So it's octave lower, and it will sound very horrible now. Not good. So I'm gonna go and do Complex Pro and take the formant down. Anymore. So somewhere in the middle is actually quite good. I realize. So it sounds quite much like a man, which is what I wanted. So I'm going to take the volume down, and all together they will sound something like this. I realize. So very interesting already. We can also copy. There we go. And then we can also slightly fine tune it a little bit like that. I realize. If we want to, we can go octave higher like that and do the same thing. Complex Pro. I realize. Envelope up and formant up. I realize. I realize. I realize. I realize. Perfect. Tip number 3 is dealing with the resonance and the transients of the signal. So for this one, I will be using Soothe 2 and Spiff from Oeksound. So thank you for Oeksound for sponsoring this video. I'm really happy to use these because I honestly absolutely love them. So me demonstrating with these plugins can also just teach you a little bit more about resonance and transients in audio and how improving those aspects of your vocal performance can make your track better. So let's go and have a look what they can do. Example in this signal that we have in here. I realize. So there's S's happening already. There's some issues there. So there's also this. There's nothing for me here. I think that part especially has some really like higher frequencies that we want to get rid of. Let's just smoothen out a little bit. So let's just go to the S's first. So on the Spectral here, look at the Spectral, especially the darker blue area. It will dip down where the resonances are activating it. So there's a little S that's just popped. I realize. And the other S's is here. A band, higher the Q a little bit. And it's quite deep S, so I'm going to put the Q a little bit higher. And sensitivity. It's going to go and put that. That's not really bad. Okay, so with these controls here, we have attack, release. So I'm going to put the release a bit longer. I realize. Lower, and then we can put the depth up. Oh, that cut a lot. Ooh, already much smoother. Yeah, the sharpness not too much, maybe somewhere here. So here, let's look for that one next. So where do we find an issue there? So let's take this band and have a listen to that. Yeah, I think it's here. It's about similar area than that there. Delta mode, we can only hear what's being cut away. So this is without Soothe. I realize. And then with Soothe. I realize. There's nothing for me here anymore. On the top of this, we can also add Spiff. And Spiff works with transients. So we can, example, use this to smooth out the mouth clicks. So I think there is a factory preset for that. If we go vocals, so we can mouth clicks example. You know, there's like sounds. So this can really remove those. But if I add that and then I add another spiff, and what we can do that with that is add articulation. Ironically, I couldn't say that. There was actually also a prefix there for that. Rap vocal in my face. Let's just see what that sounds like and then we can customize it. There's nothing for me here anymore. So we are basically boosting transients in a certain frequencies. I also want to go back to Soothe and take the mix down a little bit. I realize. Because I think it was a bit too much. There's nothing for me here anymore. Yeah, that's much better. So let's listen to this in delta. We're here a little bit lower. Yeah, something like this. I realize. There's nothing for me here anymore. Whoa, now it's probably nothing for me here. Maybe not that much. Let's put the depth. I realize. Definitely adds into the dynamics of this whole song. So using Spiff as well as Soothe too is brilliant in both production process, but especially in mixing when you really want to create that clarity between the vocal layers and harmonies, and you want the main vocal to pop out of the mix and be amazing and without any issues. If you are interested of either one of these plugins, then please go to the link down below and read more about them. Tip number 4, harmonies. Basically what harmony is a different type of melody that goes in intervals on the top or lower the main vocal. So the melody is, I realize. So maybe we go do, 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 3 up. I realize. Okay, so if you are not sure how interval works, then there is a very good website called musica.com where you can actually look for third minor, third major, and any other intervals, and it will give it to you. Usually you might need to tune it a little bit if it's not completely in tune. I realize. And again, we can remove the S's in the end just to make that there's a little bit less of the S. If you have too many S's, it can actually be really bad for when you have reverb. There's nothing for me here anymore. Right, okay, so then we can also do a harmony in fifth. Again, if you don't know where to find the right intervals, then go to musica.com and look for it. Also, you can find other intervals as well, and maybe this website can inspire you to figure out some awesome other harmonies you could do on the top of your melody. I realize. First practicing it. I realize. Let's have a listen. I realize. There's nothing for me here anymore. Okay, and how about with the stacks as well? I realize. There's nothing for me here anymore. So now basically in the mixing process, we would EQ all of them separately, compress them separately, and we would also pan them left and right so they would sound even bigger. And then we have tip number 5, the last one, which is adding an effect to create interest. Sometimes in a pop vocal, it's better to actually keep it really dry. We keep it very pure vocals, but we are actually adding only delay and not any reverb. So that's actually very common production style now in modern pop music. Filter delay or normal delay. Filter delay is fun. So we can have quite dry, and then we have these 2 sounds going on the left and right, and it actually fills it up a lot. I as you can see, it's so cool. And if I put the dry, wet control quite low, put the actual volumes of the left and right quite low. I realize. And take maybe the middle one off. I realize. So that already fills it up a lot more. So it actually sounds like there's a lot more depth in it. So another thing, anything with the carrier. So one of my favorite FX to use are either Vocoder or one of my new favorites is Spectral Resonator. So we're going to try both Spectral Resonator and Vocoder. Vocoder first. So I have here a synth on another track. Okay, so on the vocal track and on there, we're going to go to select external, okay? And we're going to go here and select the 15 wavetable. So that's that one. And actually in here, we're going to now mute this wavetable. So it's still there, but it's doing its job through the carrier of the vocoder. It's really important that we get the release, attack, formant, and depth working well. Also, we can use this filter a little bit to balance where do we want the vocoder sound to go. We can actually put the drive it a little bit so we can hear the actual vocal. Already it's sounding very interesting, so we can put the depth up and down. Okay, and then formant. So that's quite cool. Attack and release are really important on how is the carrier working with the vocal. There's nothing for me here. And I like the uni-voiced because then we can get a little bit more the articulation. There's nothing for me here anymore. And then also Spectral Resonator. So in here we can go to MIDI, input, wavetable 15. There we go. And this is one of my favorites. I love it because we can do so much cool things. So we can go from these modes, we can go to chorus, wonder, granulator, but without anything. That is cool. Or just using dry wet. I realize. We can get that a little bit of a sound there, but also it's now doing that because it's mono. But if it's mono, we can also put glide on it. I realize. I love that. Or go to polyphonic. I realize. Chorus mode. I realize. Oh, amazing. This is honestly one of my favorite tools. And then high frequency damp. So it cuts away for high frequency a little bit. I realize. Oh, that's so good. And unison up. I realize. There's nothing for me here anymore. Oh my god, I might need to use this as this song. There's work to be done, but to be honest, this is pretty cool. I might do this as a song. I might make a full song out of this. Thank you, hey, so much for watching. Please subscribe, please hit the bell icon, and please come again. Also, thank you so much for all my Patreon followers over here. They are such a lovely bunch. And if you want to be part of this cool gang, then please go to the link down below to check out my Patreon, because there is weekly live stream Q&As to ask me anything. There is also monthly masterclasses where I teach all kind of topics once a month, and you get, you know, material for it and everything. Happy vocal production, and see you all soon. Next week. Oh, next week something cool is happening. Okay. See you next week here, and see you soon. Bye.